Rohan Verma joins us now. And before I go to Rohan Verma, Rohan, I'm just coming right to you. Want to mark the markets, just, what we've been discussing. We'd had a fantastic interview with Gautam and Atul, but I want to mark Reliance Jio. I want to mark some other stocks in terms of what's happening in the PSU banking space and what's happening in terms of some of the pharma names. So it's like a steady market, nothing here, nothing there kind of a market. Rohan, I've been speaking to some common friends who are big investors in your company. They are of the view that MapmyIndia is at a multi-year cusp of exponential growth. What has changed in last 6 months that markets are deriving this kind of an confidence?
Hi, Nikunj. Thanks for having me on your show. I think probably, we're a new type of company. We're a deep tech products and platforms, digital map-based company. And it probably took a little bit of time for both the markets to understand as well as for us to explain what are the different use cases and growth vectors for the company. And in June, really, we did the analyst and investor day, where we tried to go into detail of, and we've put that on the stock exchange as well, as to what are the different use cases, what is the revenue model for different sectors, automotive, mobility, corporates, enterprises. And really the other thing that has come to bear in this last few months especially is how the consumer app of MapmyIndia, the Mapples app, has really just taken off, as even consumers now are getting to know how much better our maps are from a feature capability, technology capability, and also hyper localness. And I think combination of those things, as well as the growth of our IoT business, which itself has a very large addressable market, probably those are the things that have contributed to a better understanding and better confidence in the market.
At your business, I mean, we are used to looking at IT companies over the years, quarter on quarter. That is how you look at them. If quarter on quarter they don't grow, that means business is bad. Quarter on quarter they grow, that means company is in a linear manner. But with MapmyIndia, there is a lot of seasonality in your business. Is that the nature of the business?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, since the beginning, we've tried to communicate that look at us as a year-to-date, year-on-year business. Don't look at us one quarter from the next, because the order book is such that the revenues might be lumpy. And if you look at our performance, fiscal performance, I think both growth has been there around 40%, and also margins have been there. EBITDA margins have been there around 40% plus, and PAT margins have been 30% plus. So I'd say strong financial performance, but yeah, not something to look at quarter on quarter, but year to date, year on year. And I think that we are tracking.
Given the fact that the government is going to make the Make in India GPS alternative mandatory for all smartphones, and the date mandated is December 25, what kind of revenue potential is expected from this? And I want to understand how the company could potentially benefit.
Sure, thanks a lot for the question. Actually, if you saw the G20 event, which was a very, very big thing in the last, that happened 10 days ago, MapmyIndia played a critical role during the G20. In fact, you had the Delhi police putting out many, many advisories, both on video and TV, on radio, as well as print, telling people to download and use the Mapples MapmyIndia app, because it would provide accurate navigation as per the official traffic advisories. Now, this was a very complex traffic planning, route planning, VIP movement, as well as citizen traffic management exercise. And we worked very closely with the Delhi police over the last 4-5 months to make sure that our maps and our technology and our IoT devices could be used for citizen facing, as well as for the authorities which were planning and the VIP movements. And probably that was one good showcase of indigenous technology with a focus on solving for India. And this is the same thing that applies for Navik, which is Indian subcontinent focused satellite positioning technology, which MapmyIndia takes full advantage of. We sell a lot of IoT devices which are powered by Navik, and our app is in fact compatible with Navik. We worked with ISRO over the last, 4 years ago, to build a Navik app specifically for fishermen, to help them from going beyond the maritime border and getting cyclone alerts, and also information as to where potential fishing zones are. So we understand the value of Navik. We work very closely with ISRO. We are very thankful to their support and to their guidance. Now, as the government is focusing on self-reliance in this geospatial sector, with Navik on the chipset side and the satellite side, it is kind of obvious that maps and map-based technology also the government will want to be self-reliant for, so that it can solve the problems of Indians, irrespective of whether foreign players are there or not. So although there's no specific number I can tell you, but these tailwinds are definitely towards the indigenous products and platforms companies such as ours. And we're obviously the leader in this space. So we're excited about this, happy that government as well as other large players are kind of coming together towards these indigenous solutions.
So let's talk about the consumer interface. Google is for free, but I'm sure MapmyIndia cannot be for free for long, because ultimately that is your main product. How would you be looking at expanding in the consumer space when you, let's say, have to compete with a Google, Google Maps or anything from, anything which is free?
Nikunj, I mean, I would love for you to use our Mapples app. I think that would be a great champion for us. You'll find that when you use the app, when you're coming to a flyover, Mapples app will show you in 3D that you have to climb the flyover or stay below. Whereas in Google, it's two squiggly lines and it's very confusing whether where you have to navigate to. It leads to a lot of loss of time, kind of unsafe situations as well. Our consumer app is actually free. It's doing quite well. In fact, it reached the top of the App Store rankings above Google Maps. We do monetize on the consumer side in different ways. For now, we provide Mapple's gadgets, which are dash cameras in your car, GPS trackers in your car, and infotainment systems in your car, so that you can remotely monitor video of the car or GPS movement, and you pay a subscription. But the Mapple's app that is totally free. And we, of course, have a healthy B2B and B2B2C business to automotive OEMs, corporates, government, tech players, etc. So overall, companies in a strong financial position, we're able to kind of offer a free solution that that gives to consumers what they want, and it complements our paid solutions business.
And this is the last reported data we have, that you have an order book of 500 crore and you're looking at revenue of 1000 crore by FY28. How will this translate into the revenue curve for you?
Got it. Nikunj, our open order book at the end of FY23 was 900 crores. It grew from 699 crores to 918 crores. Revenue was 282 crores FY23, growing at 35 to 40% CAGR last few years. And so we've put out in our analyst day, investor day, about how we see different growth vectors in automotive volume growing 3x, in IoT volume, in fact, growing 10x. It grew 140% the previous year, in fact. And in corporate and government, it growing 4x, 6x, etc. So we see this 40% growth happening in the next 4-5 years. The addressable market, just specific to our solutions and the way we're looking at it bottoms up, is about 8,700 crores. So there, getting to 1,000 crores is something we are confident on. We are working towards. Of course, it's a 4-5 year journey. So people will see this unfold in the time to come.
One more follow-up question. What is the upside risk to your assumption? Because suddenly sectors like defense are scaling up. Suddenly navigation and crop navigation, crop mapping is picking up. So is there upside risk to your guidance?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the opportunities for a company like MapmyIndia, which is the core largest mapping player, map data product player, was probably the strongest IoT player in the country today, and which where we are deeply investing in the drone sector. Each of these three have very, very large potential. And then we are well placed in the defense sector. I mean, MapmyIndia is doing business with the defense, and you can tell that we are the indigenous company. So we see potentially lots of opportunity additionally, and as well as the international market is ahead of us, which we've not talked about before, and the consumer opportunity is ahead of us, which we've not talked about before. So in that sense, we have a lot of optimism, but the focus of the analyst investor day was to give a sense of realism, that based on the current market and the way that we are going about executing our B2B, B2B2C business with our current portfolio of products, this is the kind of growth that we are aiming for. Anything upside, we'd be happy to take on that. We are well positioned with 500 crores of cash sitting in the company and generating about 100 crores of cash every year. So that way, the company is well positioned to capture upside opportunities. But focus is right now to kind of ensure that we bank the execution towards quarterly and yearly performance.
Thanks for joining in and giving us a lot more clarity on the business and your news triggers going down the line.